Welcome back to Fire to Fork. Promised last episode I'd get hungover. Dick. So last night I wandered down to the farmhouse where my mates are and drank some beers, some whiskey, and then wandered back up, a bit worse for wear. This morning, now I don't usually eat breakfast, but it's barely even breakfast time now. I slept in. So I selflessly gave myself a hangover. I know, it's amazing. There's the things I will do for you know no bounds. So this morning we're going to make a hangover breakfast. Now I've somewhat got an idea of what's going to go into this, but let's be honest, it's going to be riffing a little bit. It's just more of a like how I build a big hangover breakfast wrap. First things first, let's light a bloody fire. Because I'm dusty, we're going to go path of least resistance. So a couple of tinder rolls. You really only need one, but again, just want to make it easy. Blowtorch. So this is the Zippo Firefast torch. Just the easiest way to light a fire. Bit of kindling. Make a little bridge. Kindling on top. And I'll chuck this guy on as well. All right, while that's doing its thing, there's only one thing I really need to prep with this, and that's a bit of potato hash. So I'm just going to do that now. If you have some potato gems or something in your kit, no problem to just grab some potato gems and sort of squash them down in the pan, but I've got a potato because they last ages and they're cheap and that's what I have. So coarse grater, grate it up. Then you get that and you just want to squeeze all the excess moisture out of it. And that's it. It's really easy. All right, just a reminder, I am giving away a cookbook in every single episode now. So comment the code word down below. The code word will be at some point in this episode. It'll show up on the screen. Comment that down below and I will send you out a cookbook if I pick you. It might be rigged, might not be. Who knows? It's my competition. But Jason Scott, you won last week. I've responded to your comment down below. Make sure you send me an email and I'll get a book straight out to you. It'll be a signed copy as well. Cheers. That's so annoying. I had like 10 rolls of paper towels in this camper trailer and I don't know where any of them are. So I'm using this little microfiber cloths. I need to chop up some onion. So I'll do that with get my nice knife roll. And this one. As usual, links to everything that I use, all the gear I use, because it saves me having to answer a million questions. I have a gear page for both the car and camper and my camping gear, so camping and cooking gear. Yeah, on my website. Do you know how smart it is having a fire over my mat, because it's definitely not flame proof, but nothing really seems to drop out of the bottom of this fire, so I'm just going to give it a go. If I put a couple of holes in it, I put a couple of holes in it. If I do, I'll let you know. But it's really convenient having it right here. Oh, you're not supposed to dice them. You're supposed to just slice them. I actually only need half an onion. I'm just going to forfeit this half. Moron. Sorry. Slice an onion. Don't dice it. You want the strands. I've done that far too many times. All right, that's putting out heat. Let's get this thing started. First things first, first thing you want to cook is your bacon. And that's because the bacon will then leave bacon fat, which you can cook everything else in. Streaky bacon, because I'm not a monster. And I like flavour. I'm going to try and buy a good quality free range bacon as well. Now, as part of this, there are going to be some scrambly eggs, so I may as well just do them now. So probably like, not tons, but three eggs, I'd say. Now, this is not how I'd normally do scrambled eggs. Usually I do it quite runny, but this, you'll see why I'm doing it this way. So usually I wouldn't pre-scramble it. I'd actually put them in whole on low heat and scramble them slowly. But yeah, this is going to be done slightly differently. So I'm just going to whip them up. And I'm actually going to chuck a little bit of cheese in there, just for good measure. I have to say that it's, you know, people are very divided about this. The cheap, like American burger cheese is really good here because it's super creamy and very high melt. Sorry, that was probably very loud. Super creamy and very high melt, and works extremely well in this situation. So a little bit of cheese, you can see there. Bit of cheese, bit of eggs, ready to go, and just a bit of salt and pepper in there. Not too much salt though. Oh, that's still on like full half a peppercorn mode from last night. Tighten that up. Give it a very fine grind. There we go. These tongs, by the way, are just something I'm testing out. I like them so far. There's a bit of bacon fat in there. I could probably add my onions. And the one thing that goes really well with cooking onions is a bit of butter. It's iced coffee, by the way. I'm going to do a little bit of avo in this, just because I've got it. So, not tons. You whack that back on the avo. Right, that bacon looks pretty crispy to me. So let's get that off. Onions are coming along nicely. Touch too much heat, so they've burned a little tiny bit on the edges, but whatever. In fact, they're probably fine to come off. They look good enough. This is not Michelin star today. This is just make my head stop hurting. Now, let's make a little potato hash. So to do that, you just spread that out in the fat. So I haven't gone too out there with the ingredients here because I want it to be kind of stuff that you might already have. Because you can even just do this at home. But just like a nice breakfast, interesting breakfast dish. So yeah. You know, bacon, sure, onion, avo, optional, you know, a couple of eggs, bit of cheese, a potato, all stuff that's, you know, all pretty accessible. But it's the technique here that's actually going to make it come together nicely. I know you're not supposed to use metal on non-stick, but whatever, sue me. I just do it gently, have done for years. I wouldn't do it on my home pans, but my camping pans, honestly, if they can't take a tiny bit, then they're not worth having. And I've been doing it for years on these pans and haven't had any issues. Okay, leave it. Perfect. That looks amazing. Nice and brown, holding together. Let's get some real heat onto that. God, I love this heat adjustment. Just drop it down, it works perfect. Like, you know, that's like turning the gas burner up. But you get 10 times more grunt out of this than you do out of a gas burner. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Good to go. So, take this out, set it to the side, with everything else. Now, final stretch. What we do, a little bit less heat, and we're just going to pour this in. We want it covering the whole base. That's sort of our omelette-y kind of thing. But what we want to then do is grab our tortilla or wrap and put it over the top. So I can feel it sort of puffing up a bit. So let's have a quick look, see if it's, yeah, that looks pretty good to me. As I pull it back, it's all coming off as one. So, to make a bit of room here. Look at that. There's our cooked egg. Whew. Really hot. Dump that back in there. Now we add everything in. So, a bit of avo. Ooh, that's not a good sound. My camera overheated. All right, let's do this quickly before my camera overheats again. Bit of potato hash. Onions. Oh no. All right, I'm sorry about the crap filming. My second camera has overheated, so this will be on my phone. Onions. Bacon. And we're going to grab a bit of sriracha. Bit of Kewpie mayo. Okay. I need 2 hands, I can't film and do it. Bit of pepper. Touch of salt. Let's get this out. Oh yes. Now optionally you could add some barbecue sauce or something if you wanted something a bit of extra sweet, or actually like a relish would be really good, but that's why I've done the semi-caramelized onions. Whoa. Oh, I'm gonna let that cool down for a second. Whew. Okay, no, bugger it. I'm gonna fry that like that for a second. Seal it off. All right, a few seconds on there. It's looking good. I think we need some gratuitous B-roll of a cross section here. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, one of the shorter gratuitous B-roll things I've done because I'm really hungry and I'm a bit hung and I can't be bothered. Looks really good though. That's really good. It needs a bit more sriracha, I think. Add a little bit more of that. Maybe a touch more Kewpie. Let's give that a crack. That's it. That's it. It's everything I want it to be. Oh man, that's good. All right. Drink responsibly or irresponsibly, I don't care. Hungover or not, this is a bloody good breakfast. Treat your body like a hire car, like I do. See you in the next one. Who am I kidding? Everyone knows there's only one way to really cure a hangover. That hairy dog.